I am the cheap audio man, and I will always talk about affordable audio. But if you're into cars, sometimes you want to see a Ferrari, even if you can't afford it. I was lucky enough to get invited to the House of Sound in New York City. Mcintosh, Sonus Faber, Rotel, and Project all under one roof. Rotel also released a new product, and we also get a chance to see that. I totally understand this video is going to get a lot of negative comments saying I'm not the cheap audio man. But sometimes it's fun just to look. So cast aside your disdain for expensive audio products and just enjoy.
Gentlemen, let's go through. Let's go through the tour. This is what happens when folks come in. Everything here is the best thing that Mcintosh builds that does that thing. Mcintosh's two best sources, the MCD 12,000 on the digital side, SACD, CD, streaming into the DAC. This is our highest end turntable. Really, really amazing piece. Obviously you have this huge, gigantic platter, so you have all the inertia. It's never gonna actually lose speed if you have any power fluctuations. Those are both going into the C12,000. So this is our reference level preamp. This is all analog. This is why our digital is coming from the SACD player. Microprocessors and power controllers down here. So power input, volume control, VFD display, input switching. That's going out into a pair of our MC2KW mono blocks. It is a 3-box mono block. There's a couple different reasons why it's 3 boxes. One, you can't legally pull enough power from a single outlet to produce 8,000 watts at peak. It will melt your house down. So we figured out a loophole and we'll just make it 3 plugs instead. It's also a completely balanced amplifier. So the top box produces 1,000 watts of music. The bottom box produces 1,000 watts of the inverted music.
So this is like differential in 2 boxes.
Correct. Correct. So the 462 does it in 1 box. 1.2, I believe, is a quad balance amplifier as well.
So what are the top 2 boxes?
They are up there because they actually have blue meters on the front.
Who doesn't love the blue meters?
You gotta love the blue meters, as we're seeing here, and we try and get this typically as close to that blue color as possible as well. And then that's all going out into a pair of the XRT 2.1s. These are a monstrous looking, weird looking thing. Each of these drivers is only doing a little tiny bit of work and they're creating a huge effort. So I'm not worried about the fact that we peak at 8,000. We're never gonna blow a tweeter on these things. There's a couple other benefits that are added to that from the line array. One of the big ones is that right here, we're only listening to a couple of these drivers at a time, which means our relative volume is actually lower than your relative volume there. If you get up and walk towards the speaker, the volume actually decreases a little bit as you get closer to it, which makes them really great for large rooms and entertaining. And as we go into this next demo I'm gonna play, you're gonna forget that the speakers are there and you're just gonna think you're in the room with music. I know we all know a little bit of home theater terminology, so like if I said 5.1, you would know exactly what I was talking about, right? This room is 9.16.4. So we've got 29 channels of amplification, 15,400 watts of Mcintosh.
Say it again, 9.1?
9.16.4.
9.16.4.
Correct. 16 subwoofers, and we have 4 Atmos speakers in the ceiling. All powered by 19 Mcintosh amplifiers, pumping out 15,400 watts.
How many outlets do you need for that?
I had to put in $40,000 worth of electrical to this room. Typically, I say this part when we're in the elevator coming down. I'm gonna say a sentence and you're gonna be like, oh, that sentence is too short, he didn't finish it. And it's also hyperbolic, even if he did finish it. This is the best sounding cinema. End of sentence. 9, 16, 4, 19 Mcintosh amplifiers pumping out 15,400 watts. We're gonna start with a clip from a musical, really to illustrate that this is a room of high fidelity. It's not just about having a bunch of speakers. These aren't PA speakers. This isn't a custom integration amplifier. These are all hi-fi pieces. You very likely heard this song, but you've never heard it sound this good. I can guarantee that. If you're in the real world, low frequency doesn't only come from 1, 2, or even if you're lucky 4 places, which is typically what you're getting in a home theater setup, right? So what we've done here is we've taken the full range signal for all 9 program speakers and all 4 Atmos speakers and taken that and combined it with the subwoofers through timing the subwoofers. So you're getting a complete sonic image in each of these directions. So these 2 subwoofers are timed to this program speaker, the 2 in the center to the center speaker, those 2 to that speaker. We have the 6 at the back, 1 each for the sides, 1 each for each side of the back, and 1 each for each side of the roof. There are 4 other ones here that are doing the 0.4 general LFE coming out of the processor, but everything else is a complete sonic image that you're getting to the program speakers, but now it goes lower than you can feel and higher than you can hear. How we're able to achieve that mechanically is typically you need a 15 to get that much low in excursion. 15 can't physically ever move as fast as the drivers in the LCR, so you get out of phase issues. Every note that is happening is becoming out of phase because the subwoofers just can't keep up with it. These each have 4 6.5s arranged in sealed chambers that are able to produce as much low end as the 15 that we are lacking here at the speed that we need. And 2, they're horizontally opposed, so these are having no physical resonance in the speaker itself. So everything you experience is sound coming off of the cone of the speaker, not the spider of the speaker shaking the cabinet, shaking the floor. These are not attached to anything. They're just sitting here. 500 watts pumping into these subwoofers, and they're just sitting there. They've been there for almost 2 months. I'm not worried about them walking off of that shelf. Go ahead and jump into a clip here. We're gonna watch a clip from Top Gun that's really gonna show us all of that precise placement of all of the low end to give you a really, really immersive experience. So through all of the chaos that's happening in this scene, through the literal storm that's happening in this scene, you're still gonna be able to discern everything that's being said. A lot of work.
How many amps did you say?
There are 19 amps, 10 of which are stereo MI502s, and 9 of which are the MC611 monoblocks. So we have 29 channels of amplification going through the 29 Sonos Harbor Arena speakers.
So we are at the very incredible House of Sound in Chelsea, in New York City. And I've got Jeff here from Rotel, and we're talking about the brand new Rotel
RAS 5000, our latest integrated amplifier with built-in streaming. Ooh. Brand new product we're just launching today. So as of 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, this has been announced to the world. So you're actually the first member of the press to hear this thing live.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you refer to me as a member of the press.
Well, you know.
Very fancy.
It started with our S14, which was the first integrated amplified streamer that Rotel had come out with. Really fantastic product, small format, but we had a lot of clients that were asking for something that had a little larger, bigger amplifier that could really properly drive a large tower speaker. S14 does a great job, but at 120 watts per channel, we needed something a little more robust.
What does this put out?
So 220 watts per channel, RMS into 4 ohms, which is what we're seeing here with these beautiful Sonos Faber Olympica Nova 3s. So it's a really great match. Like all Rotel amplifiers, it starts with a big toroidal power transformer that's wound in-house in Rotel's own factory. And that's coupled to a really excellent Class A/B stereo amplifier. And then we combine this with a really great streaming engine and HDMI EARC connection. So you can now do audio from your display for all your video streaming services. So it's truly a one-box solution for a lot of customers out there.
What type of inputs do you have?
So in the back, we've got analog stereo, of course, coaxial and fiber optic digital, HDMI ERC, PC USB, so if you want to do high resolution streaming from PC or Mac, and a really good sounding Bluetooth section.
What kind of DAC do you have in it?
It's an ESS 9038 AQ2M, excellent Saber DAC from ESS, and that allows us to do everything all the way up to 32-bit, 384 kilohertz PCM, DSD, and if you're still got some MQA files out there, we can decode them.
All right, I'm sure MQA is going to
yeah, you know, it's a nice format to support. So that's really with a lot of our products. We really we're not going to take a strong stand one way or the other. Whatever flavor of digital you're playing, if you're doing audio, you're doing video, we want to be able to play it. It does have a subwoofer out, no bass management, no crossover, it's just a mono line level output.
Do you download a specific Rotel app onto your phone or device for this?
You download it from either the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Supports playback for Qobuz, internet radio, also allows you to select any files from the USB connection on the back. So if you wanted to plug in a mass storage device, you could use that. It's Tidal Connect, Spotify Connect, supports Apple AirPlay 2, has Chromecast built in. And it also is a Roon endpoint. This plugs right in over the network, just becomes a Roon endpoint.
Let's come this way. These are the Sonos Faber Asters, the new indoor-outdoor speaker. I've got them powered by a Mcintosh amp that's in the system downstairs. We'll see in a minute. Earlier in the year, this is a really great place to come up and have a little lunch. And then for our opening, we had like 200 and something people throughout the house. All-tube Mcintosh system, C2700 into a pair of MC3500 Mark IIs. For sources, every room has 3 sources. We have CD, vinyl, and streaming. I wouldn't say this is a room where you're doing any sort of analysis, but this is an entertaining room, and it really, really does that. These are the Electa Amateur 3, solid walnut cabinet. Those are on loan. I'm buying myself a pair of these.
Well, hopefully you get a discount.
Where can we find that little thief who stole our time?
You ever done something or been to a place where you have zero reference point of how to compare it? Well, that, my friends, is what happened here at the House of Sound with Mcintosh, Sonos Faber, Rotel. Absolutely amazing in every regard. Huge home theater. This place is absolutely bananas. And if you're ever in New York City or even in the Northeast and you have an opportunity to get in here and see all the magic, I would highly recommend it. Exceeded my expectations. I didn't even know what expectations to have, but they've been exceeded. So go check out the new streaming Rotel amp. It looks awesome. And thank you so much to the Rotel folks for having me out.